What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Freedom Podcast. I'm your host, Makai Morgan. I didn't come up with a cool name yet, so bear with me. It's all new to me. But let me start off with a quote that kind of resonated with me, that kind of caught my attention, and this was recommended by a friend of mine, a close friend of mine, that I thought was a pretty good idea. So I'm like, let me try that. let me include that. That sounds odd. So let me do that. So the quote reads, "I am no bird, and no net ensnares me. I am a free human being with an independent will." Drops mic. So that alone is just what this whole podcast is about. Because anybody that knows me knows that I love my freedom. I love my time. I love my value. And that's just living life. Who doesn't want to live life? I want to live life to do things that I want to do when I want to do it. You know what I mean? So, again, welcome to the Freedom Podcast. And this podcast is specifically about individuals, specifically millennials. If you're a little older, you could take it up too, but it's geared towards millennials that are interested in building wealth and also building cash flow and income passively, so that they don't have to necessarily do things that they don't want to do. They can only focus on the things that they want to do. And that, to me, baby, is living life. So that's what I'm all about. So before we get into it, we got some pretty new stuff for you. We're going to go over the mental portion of things first. I'm going to start off with a little visualization first, a little bit of motivation. I'm going to hype you up a little bit, hit you in the chest, And we're also going to go over some stuff on crypto, specifically Dapps, what they are, how you can make money from them, stuff like that. Again, I am no guru in this. It's new to me too. And a big thing about this that I find to be really motivating is that I low key want to say I'm a beginner too, but this whole journey is about us doing it together. Like, as I come up, and hopefully as this podcast start to kind of catch traction and stuff like that, and when more people know about it, I want y'all to do these kind of things with me. I want y'all to be out here in the field, in the trenches with me doing these things. You know what I mean? Now, you don't have to do everything. I'm not going to hold a gun to your head and be like, do it. But it's going to be more so an interactive journey. You guys, y'all coming with me, wherever that may be. I know where I want to go, but what's the purpose if I can't impact anybody else and bring them to that? So that's what this is all about. So let's get into the first part, the mental portion. So each episode, we're going to start it off with something that's going to make you a little bit more well-rounded, and so that it can help you in your investment journey, if that makes sense. So today we're going to start off with a little mental exercise. So wherever you are, I don't care if you drive it, don't do this, but I'm not liable for nobody crashing and flipping off I-75. No, none of that. I'm not doing it. I promise. But if you're in a safe place where you can sit down, I want y'all to follow along with me. And I don't want y'all to cheat me either. I can't see you, but don't do me like that, y'all. Don't do me like that. So I want you to close your eyes. I'm not joking. Close your eyes. Don't cheat. Don't cheat me. I'm not, because I'm, walking you through it. But I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to think about what freedom is to you. I'm going to give you a minute. Now I want you to think about how, matter of fact, don't even think about how you're going to get there. Just continue to meditate on what it looks like in your head, what it looks like to be able to be a provider for your family, what it looks like to be able to be the chosen one of your group. What does it look like to not be worried about anything financially anymore? What does it look like to be a part of something greater? What does it look like to be self-sufficient and self-sustained? What does that look like? What does it smell like? What does it taste like? I want this vision to be in your head, and I want you to keep thinking about it. Keep thinking about it. All right, now stop. So, whatever you thought about, right? Whatever it looked like, maybe it's cars, maybe it's traveling, maybe it's stability, maybe it's being well. Whatever that is, I just want you to first believe that it's possible. What if I were to tell you that what you just saw was something that was possible? Something that's in your immediate future. Something that you can actually make actionable steps towards getting in the future, whatever that may be. I'm not here to judge on whatever it is whatever freedom looks like to you, because to everyone is different. This is all an individualistic experience. So whatever you just saw, it's real. It's real as everything around you. It's real as the things you touch, the things you see, the things that you smell, taste is just as real. That's thought. That's the power of thoughts. And I want you to constantly play that image through your head. And more importantly, believe it. Because thoughts are actual things, the energy. And when you can use your energy, your mental energy, to see that goal, to see that place, and believe that it's as real as anything. Never forget that, and never let anyone tell you that it's not real. You don't have to tell everybody you don't have to tell a soul about what you just saw. What you just saw, it could be between you, your mind, God, the ether, the universe, whatever you believe, whatever you may call it, that's between you and that. And I'm here to tell you that it's there. It's out there for you. So you just really have to tune into that, because this journey that we're gonna take y'all, is gonna be a long one. It's gonna be a very long one. It's gonna be some bumps in the road, and it's gonna be some things that aren't too desirable. I'm just being real. I haven't been in this space for a very long time, but from what I've seen, it gets gritty. It gets gritty, but you can do it. We all doing it. We're all in this together, whoever this may be, whoever needs to see this. It's, we're going to do this thing, So that's just a little bit about the mental portion of it. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't achieve it. You can't. So there's a book that I'm not a big reader myself. I'm a little on the elevator don't go all the way up. You know what I mean? So, but I'm a firm believer of educating yourself. So you gotta do it. You gotta do it. I'm sorry, y'all gotta do it. But a book that I would really recommend you guys checking out is called The Intelligent Investor. It was one of the first books that I read on my investing journey, and it kind of gave me insight on the investing world, kind of gave me some things to note, some certain strategies, certain things to look out for when it comes to investing, and you never really realize how real it is until you get started. And this book really helped me out a bunch, just helping me understand it, So I would definitely say check it out, just see what sparks your interest. And also another thing that you can do to kind of broaden your horizon on these things are, I'd like for you to listen to this one, but there's other podcasts. I can't name any in particular off the top of my head, but definitely, you could check out other podcasts as well, and just kind of gather some information and knowledge and a little bit of motivation. And, YouTube, huge. We may be going to YouTube. I don't know. I'm not gonna drop too much, but it's up in the air. But anyway, so let's get into some fun stuff, I guess, or not so fun if you don't do it right. But we're gonna get into it. So first, what are Dapps? And I'm not talking about Dapps. No, I'm talking about decentralized apps. So there's two kind of apps, right? Think of the first app as a regular app, a centralized app. So these are apps such as Robinhood, Coinbase, Binance, and different known exchanges that are moderated by people. So from what I got from decentralized apps, it's basically an application that is run by smart contracts and blockchain technology. That's pretty much what I got from it. Don't completely quote me. Definitely do your own research on that, but that's what I got from it pretty much, which is the major difference. One is run by people. The other one's a bit more autonomous, I guess. Autonomous. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. I ain't. Yeah, it's more automated. So, how you can benefit from how can you benefit from Dapps, right? So, I'm a firm believer. If I'm not invested into something, I wouldn't even put y'all in it, or I might bring it up just off fun. But how can you make money from them? So they have certain platforms in which, okay, let me back up a little bit. There's a few ways that you can make money in cryptocurrency. Let me start there. So you have something called staking, which is you have a currency such as, let's say, Ethereum. You have a currency, you put it on a certain exchange, and that exchange will, I guess, not exchange, but it'll be used to generate more cryptocurrency in that native token. And how you can make a lot of money off of that, like let's say for instance, you have some Ethereum, you staking it for like a 8% APY, that's annualized percent per year. That means within a year span, your investment will have went up 8% if you just keep it there within a year span. So let's say you have that, and the price of Ethereum goes up too. So let's say it's at 1,000 when you first do it, and you're getting 8%. Let's say it shoots up to 2,000 by the end of the year, and you got the 8%. So that's technically two ways you made money, like with staking, because you made money off of the growth of the coin, and you made money off of the APY that it generated. So, and that's just one way. There's different degrees of staking. They have something that I was really into, something called these auto compounding staking protocols. Now, word of caution, these are really, really risky. I invested in a few of them. Some of them I can name off of my memory. Something called Titano, right? Basically, it was a platform where you bought a coin, the Titano coin, and you hold it in your wallet. I have a MetaMask wallet. That's basically a cryptocurrency wallet. You can put all your coins and stuff like that. It's like a regular wallet, but like infinitely more deep. So basically, you put it in there, you hold it, and it just automatically compounds. So if you buy $1,000 worth of Titano and it auto compounds like every 30 minutes, and the APY was some ridiculous mess. Like the APY was like 102,000%. Anybody that knows about investments knows that that's unheard of. Like that's like watching it's like Jesus resurrected from the dead and walking across your front lawn and flying away. Like it's like astronomical. And the crazy thing about it, they have a bunch of protocols like these that offer way more. I've seen protocols that offer as much as 300,000%, 500,000%, 1,000,000%. Now, a lot of these turned out to be scams. So you got to be careful, but that is you know basically staking in a sense. Oh, I didn't even tell you about my results on that. So fortunately, Titano went cool. Like it was good, and fortunately, I got my investment back within like a month. I invested about $900, and within a month, I was able to flip it, and it turned into 1,800. And I just took out my initial investment, and I just let it run. I'm not in it anymore because I didn't want to risk like losing it. So I was just like, okay, let me just take it out and just, this was cool. I got to tell somebody about this. So that's one way you can make money with crypto. It's staking. Another way you can make money with crypto is lending. So basically, this is when you have a coin. Let's go back to Ethereum. You have a coin, you're loaning that currency out and to somebody else that wants to use it for investing or whatever they want to do. And basically you get back collateral. So it's like a regular loan, but just a bit more on steroids. So now I haven't done much of this myself. It doesn't seem that exciting. Doesn't really get me going like that. I mean, it may be cool or whatever, but it's another avenue. Another way you can make money with cryptocurrency passively is something that I really like. It's called yield farming. So with yield farming, basically you have certain liquidity pools, and basically, from my basic understanding of it, again, no expert, just learner, just as like y'all. But my basic understanding is that there's a pool of liquidity, and you can provide liquidity to that pool with your currency. And basically, from what I know, the transactions and stuff like that go through, like people that are also using the exchange, they put their money in and stuff like that, and you keep a bit of the, what do you call it, like the transaction, I guess. So, and with this is also pretty risky too. But I've done a lot of it. It's turned out pretty well for me. I've done this with something called Pancake Swap. It's pretty popular in the space. Check it out if you haven't heard about it. But Pancake Swap is a good one. Not as risky as the other ones. A bit of a safer play, but that doesn't say much in crypto. And there are some degenerate freaking crazy ones out there that also offer like a bunch of APYs and stuff like that. So that's yield farming and stuff like that. And another one that's pretty popular are nodes and master nodes. And basically these are protocols or okay, so basically so the blockchain. Let's just say it has issues. So basically the blockchain is a series of networks and transactions and stuff like that, kind of like the internet. So let's say, for instance, you have issues in the blockchain. A node, from what my understanding is that they are used to verify transactions. So a good indication that a project is like, you know, good is when they actually do this and they are basically verifying the transactions that occur in the blockchain and whatnot. So this is a pretty popular one. I'm doing this currently with something called yield nodes. It's another pretty popular one. It's been turning out pretty good for me. I invested close to 2,000 into it, and it's been working pretty good. It's been working pretty good too. Again, I'm not telling you to invest in it. It could completely blow up, and I could lose everything. That's the nature of the beast. But so far so good. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Y'all won't see me for a while if it does, but I'm prepared for it if it does. So that's basically like some ways that you can make money with cryptocurrency or passive ways. Um, oh, and I forgot. I'll get more into these probably in the next episode. But there's one more I thought about. It's arbitrage, which is something like the wild wild west. So basically, arbitrage. So anybody that's in business, they kind of know what I'm talking about. But basically, arbitrage is something like wholesaling. So let's say, for instance, you have a product here, a buyer here, with two parties here. You'll be the middleman, right? You're basically getting something from Susie over here that costs $2, selling it to John over here for $3, and you're keeping the dollar profit in the middle. That's basically what arbitrage is. Now, in the crypto space, this is crazy. I didn't know this existed until recently, and they have some platforms that do this. So since the market is so volatile, coins are always going up and down and up and down, and they're different prices on different exchanges. So how arbitrage works is you capitalizing off of these occurrences. So if it is, let's say you're trying to get like, I don't know, Bitcoin or something, or BNB. Yeah, let's use BNB. That's the Binance token, if y'all don't know. Let's say you have BNB and it's going for this much on Binance. Let's say it's going for 100 a share or whatever you call it, 100 a token. And over here on something like Gemini, it's going for 103. So you being middleman Stevie, whatever you want to call him, you're gonna get it from here, from Binance, and you're going to sell it on another exchange and keep that $3 profit, so to speak. So if you were to do more, let's say 10,000, 15, 20, 30,000, you can see how this starts to add up and how people can really make a lot of money with it. So that's a pretty popular way. Or I would say it's not even as popular as the other ones. This is the one that really interests me the most personally, because it seems like it's I don't want to use the word safe, because I don't even want to mislead y'all like that, because ain't nothing safe. But to me, it is one of the safest methods in crypto, because one thing that you don't want to do is guess. because when you're caught guessing, I mean, you're not God. You don't know what's going to happen next. But one thing you can count on is that the crypto market is always going to be pretty volatile and that it's always going to move. It's 24/7, 365. And new coins are popping up every day and news is coming out and everything. So it's always moving. So would you rather bank on what you might not know is going to happen, or do you want to bank on something that you're a bit more sure of? So that, I mean, to me personally, I like arbitrage the best. You could do what you want, um, but just word of my personal preference. So let's get into some strategy talk. So back to the passive income things, right? Because that's what we're all about, especially within the crypto. One thing that I figured out that separates a lot of people that make it in this space and do not make it in this space is strategy. That is the number one thing, is strategy. People, because anybody can win once and get lucky. Anybody can just throw some money and God just smiled upon you that day and just boom, it just doubled or tripled or however many X in a matter of seconds, But for you to do that consistently, that is when that's how you know that that's how you really know what you're talking about. Because if you can replicate it, then you have some form of consistency here. So let's get into a strategy that I personally need to employ a little bit more, but I'm starting to do now, and maybe this could help you guys out. So let's say that, well, for our first strategy, let's say that you're invested in a node project or something. Let's say you went into, I don't know, yield nodes or whatever. And basically, as the investor, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You could wake up tomorrow and this thing could be gone. Now, there are certain precautions and things that you can take that will mitigate your risk, such as seeing if the development team, do they show their faces? Do you know who these people are? Do they have any track records? Is there any utility for the thing that they're actually providing? Is there actual service? Does this have longevity? And basically, is it needed? Like, is this something that will be around for a while? Is this something that will carry on into the future? So that on its own is a strategy. Just kind of vetting the projects that you get into, that'll mitigate a lot of your risk. But another strategy that you can do is, boom, back to the yield nodes. You invested all this money. Let's say you invested $5,000 or whatever. And how yield nodes works is it locks your initial investment up for 6 months. And you can choose to compound it and basically grow your account to make more. Or also you could take some money out. So a very good strategy that somebody told me about was basically play with the house money, not your own money. That's a very, very big strategy in the crypto space. So let's go back to yield nodes. It pays you out every month. So what you would want to do is, instead of just straight up compounding it, you can take the money out each month and just keep taking it out, and de-risking. So once you get to the point where you've taken out enough, like once you've doubled your investment and you've taken out that equal amount, so you've gotten $5,000 back and you still have $5,000 in the platform, you're officially risk-free. Meaning that you don't have any more risk in the game. So if it tanks tomorrow, I don't know, one of the developers turns out to be like a drug head and just takes all the money and uses it for whatever, I don't know. The world is crazy. you're technically not losing anything. You're not losing your initial investment. You want to stay alive in this game. That's number one. If you're not alive, you can't you can't win. You got to be alive, and you got to be able to have capital to play in this game. And one thing that'll keep you alive is being smart with it. So you want to de-risk as quickly as possible when it comes to protocols. Now, some you may have a bit more faith in. Okay, you can do that. But me personally, I ain't trusting nobody. I if I'm not running it, I don't know what could happen. So to mitigate that, you just it just statistically makes a bit more sense to start taking your initial investment off the table, so you're not losing nights of sleep over this, and you're not so focused on it. So those are two really major things that you want to do when it comes to strategy. You definitely want to do your research on what it is you're even investing in, if it's legit, and if they're saying, and basically just understanding what it is. I made the big mistake of investing into a lot of things I didn't know about, and I got towed up, son. Like I got wrecked, like for real. So and that's why I'm telling you this, so it doesn't happen to you. And that brings me into my next topic, which is words of caution. So again, people, this space is risky, okay? This is it's like the Purge 2.0. You know, I'm not even trying to scare y'all or anything like that. You know, it's very risky, but with risk there's reward. And a thing that I've learned is that you gotta risk it to get a significant reward. And me personally, that's a risk I'm personally willing to take, you know. But definitely, you just want to make sure that you're not just throwing your life savings into certain things, no matter how much you may believe in it or something like that. You never want to do that. I formerly made the mistake of, this is a bit of a shame moment for me, but it was actually in something called Sphere Finance. So basically, and it said that it was like the S&P 500 of crypto and stuff like that. Now, I don't know what it's doing now, but I just know what happened to me. So I put in about, I don't know, like $1,000, $2,000, something like that. And it was going up. No. I put in 1,000. That's right. I put in $1,000, and it shot up to like 2,400. And I'm like, oh, this is lit. Like this is dope. Like, you know. And I got greedy. I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna let it run. I'm trying to get 10 bands. I'm trying to get 20. I'm trying to, you know. So the next day comes, I look at my account, it dropped to eight, no, it was some little amount, it dropped down to $200 or something like that, $100. And I'm just like, what happened? Yo, I thought this was supposed to make me rich. What is going on? And honestly, I panicked and I sold it. So again, I don't know what they're doing now. They're probably doing much better now, but that is a fine line example of one, I didn't even know what I was getting into. I got into it because of the high APY and the crazy promises, and I got messed up. You know, and that is my fault and my fault alone, because I knew that there was risk, and you have to be accountable for that risk in this space, you know, and I wasn't. So that was just one. I'll tell you one more just to show you I'm human. This actually didn't come from crypto. This came from stocks, invested in stocks. So those of you that don't know, I also invest in options. And I remember I was doing credit spreads, just, trading. And then this was so stupid. I don't know why I even did it. I just did it just to do it. I'm like, let me see what happens. So I put a call option. That's basically betting that the stock is gonna go up. A call spread. Yeah. So I made a bet that it was gonna go up, and it did within a month. It did not, and I lost like close to like $5,000, and that is the most. Anybody that's lost a lot of money knows what I'm talking about. Like that. I mean, big ballers. I'm not talking about y'all. I mean, just somebody that's just kind of getting started off in the space. That's a lot. Like I'm only 25, y'all. Like that messed me up. Like I went in my shower and cried after that. Like for real, man. Like it hurt. And that from that day, it just taught me that you have to have strategy, and you just have to approach things with caution, and you just really have to pay attention to what you're doing and know what you're investing into, and just, you know, playing it right. Because if you don't, it's going to play with you, and it ain't going to be funny. So yeah, guys, that pretty much concludes the second episode on basically what Dapps are, some strategies you can kind of make some income with certain Dapps. And just basically, I didn't really get into like the technicalities of it. I just went over the basics. I'm just trying to keep it real basic and just real simple. I'm a simple guy, so I like to just keep it as plain Jane as possible. So let me just finish it off with some closing remarks. So again, this is the F.R.E.E.D.O.M Podcast. We're all about investing and providing avenues of passive income, so that you can live the life that you feel as though you were put here for. Because I'm huge on purpose, and y'all all have one. And you're all important, and you're all special. And money should not be a reason on why you shouldn't live the life that you want to live. It's a very soul-crushing thing for me to want to do something, but I can't because of the financial barricades in the way. But this whole thing is built on how we can do that and how we can do it together, y'all. So again, don't let anyone tell you that you can't do what it is that you want to do. I'm here to tell you that. It may not mean much. I'm sorry. You see this light shining off my big old forehead, but or if you can't see it, it's all good. You can do it. We gonna do it. We gonna get to it. So, that concludes the F.R.E.E.D.O.M Podcast for today. I just want to thank y'all for listening in. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Oh, you can also give me a follow on Instagram. It's YWYZE_KAI, Wise Kai, or not, I would prefer you do though. But yeah, that's it. And y'all have a blessed one.